Planet Crafter 1.0 is here. Over the last couple years, I've had the pleasure of playing this game in early access, and it's found a permanent home on my top 10 list. The gameplay is just a perfect mix of survival, building, and terraforming. It's just about everything I've ever wanted in a game. So, what's new in the full release, and what has changed since the beginning of early access? Let's take a look. Hi, it's Drax. This is the part at the beginning of the video that everyone skips. For those of you that didn't jump forward, enjoy watching and listening. Might you consider supporting me further by visiting my Ko-fi or clicking on the join button on this video? Alright, that's it. Back to the video. What started as a simple survival game has blossomed into an exploration, logistics, and building game. As the game has progressed through early access, we've even been given small parts of a really cool story. Now, if I were to cover everything that has changed since the game launched into early access, this video would be like 10 hours long. Here are some of the changes that I'm excited for in the full release of Planet Crafter. At the top of my list is the new multiplayer. Planet Crafter has always seemed a bit lonely. Such a big planet with so much to explore, and yet you're alone. While the game is strong as a single player, with the addition of the multiplayer, the game should open up in new ways. Being able to build together, explore, and have someone take your picture in game will just be fun. The new co-op mode can have up to 10 players. Now I just need to make 10 friends. Want to play together? Planet Crafter has drones. They were added in the early access, and I've said in the past that these little flying friends have changed the game. If you haven't played since the addition of drones to the game, then you're in for a treat. They're a mid-game unlock, and if I'm going to be honest, it took me a minute or two to grasp just how awesome this change is to the game. One of Planet Crafter's issues early on is having to run all over the map to gather resources. The drones solve for this and add a level of automation that was needed in the mid to late game. Setting up the drones is easy. The logistics of storage and organization takes some mastering. I would argue that the introduction of drones drastically changes the mid and end game for the better. New biomes have been added and the existing biomes have been updated. There are some nice changes throughout the game in the 1.0 release. Longtime players will notice new rocks and new areas. There's an overall polish to the game's landscape, and the water just looks more watery. The game has always had big, beautiful skies and landscapes, and the new additions are icing on that cake. Watching the Planet Crafter world come alive is one of the best parts of the game. One of the key game mechanics is taking the lonely red rock and changing it into a green and vibrant oasis. Throughout early access, new life forms were added to the game: butterflies, bees, frogs, and in the full release we have big animals. I'm so happy that the end game includes full-size beasts. Just like with bees and butterflies, you'll use the DNA manipulator, which means more DNA fun. Trade platforms and Terra tokens are a recent add to Planet Crafter. The new game mechanic opens up yet another way to gain access to items using a new currency, Terra tokens. You can trade resources to gain tokens, as well as finding them in boxes and wrecks. There are some items in the game that now can only be unlocked through this platform. I'm on the fence on these additions. It does add depth to the game, but there's also a bit of a grind here that feels a little bit out of place. In the end, you get to launch another rocket, so that's pretty cool. Planet Crafter has portals. What are portals, Drax? Well, basically, they're mini worlds, or this game's version of a dungeon run. Each portal is procedurally generated and full of loot. To access these worlds, you'll need to build a portal generator. I've stepped through a couple portals and had a look around. There are crashed ships with a lot of twists and turns. The standard fare can be found inside. Lots of crates full of a lot of fun. I love these portals, and this is a welcome addition to the endgame. The difficulty levels vary, and as far as I can tell, there are endless combinations. Running portals with a buddy in multiplayer is gonna be fun. The amount of items added to the game during the early access is staggering. The list is long. From bigger backpacks, extended oxygen tanks, multiple levels of jetpacks, and so much more. Buildings have also been added and upgraded. The hab buildings have come a long way since the start of the game. Another area that has greatly expanded is decorations. There are chairs, beds, tables, display cases, and cool fire pits. Cooking was added recently along with the new cook station, allowing you to craft a variety of foods. Now I can eat cake all day, every day. And my personal favorite, the fountain. So nice. The teleporter in the game has changed my life. This and drones add such a big quality of life boost. Being able to build multiple teleports in different locations and zoom back and forth is just amazing and fun. The running in the early game is essential to the gameplay, but in the mid and late game, that's the last thing I want to do. The teleporter allows you to continue unlocking the planet while removing some of the grind. Also, really cool animation. Finally, you can now name your save files on creation. I've never understood why I couldn't name my save file from the start or during gameplay. Most of the time when looking at my save files, I have no idea which one is which, and I end up having to jump in and then jump out and jump in and jump out. This edition is great. Thank you. I've purposely left out the story and the endgame to save spoilers. However, I'll tell you that it is complete in the final version of the game. I'm excited to finally see what all this lore is about. Also, do you think we get off the planet? Planet Crafter 1.0 is out now. If you love survival, crafting, and terraforming a whole planet, go buy this game. Alright, what did I miss? Share your favorite new Planet Crafter additions with me in the comments. As always, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. The video's over. Now it's time for you to do your part. Follow, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.